1948. That year marked a turning point in the history of the land, and its people. More than 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled from their homes. For decades, they described what happened: the emptying of villages, the forced removals, and the violence that accompanied them. Their testimonies were consistent and detailed, but for much of the world, their voices were not treated as evidence. Today, newly uncovered Israeli archival documents have reopened the historical record. Thousands of files, once sealed, now reveal operational orders, internal communications, and field reports from 1948. Historian Adam Reyes examined these materials and found explicit confirmation of expulsions and killings carried out during the founding of the state. These documents show that the displacement was not accidental. It was systematic, coordinated, and implemented across multiple regions. The file include orders to remove Palestinian residents from specific towns and villages. They contain reports describing the destruction of homes to prevent return. They include admissions by officers that unarmed civilians were killed during operations. These details match what Palestinian survivors have said for generations. For more than 70 years, Palestinians documented their experiences through oral histories, diaries, letters, and interviews, and actual observers recorded similar accounts. The core narrative never changed. Displacement was intentional, widespread, and enforced through coercion and violence. The newly released Israeli documents do not reveal a new story. They confirm the one Palestinians have told all along. This investigation also exposes a deeper pattern. Palestinian testimony has rarely been accepted. Unless an Israeli source corroborated it, their accounts were labeled biased or unreliable. They were excluded from official inquiries. Only when Israeli documents or officials echoed their claims did the world begin to listen. This pattern appears across decades. Palestinians said that so-called firing zones were used to seize land. Years later, Israeli planning documents confirmed it. During the early days of the Second Intifada, Palestinians reported lethal force against demonstrators. Internal Israeli investigations later acknowledged excessive use of live ammunition. In the 2008 and 2009 Gaza war, civilians described being fired upon while carrying white flags. Their accounts gained credibility only after Israeli soldiers testified. Human rights groups documented the use of white phosphorus in civilian areas. Israeli confirmation came only after international pressure. In 2014, Palestinians said entire families were designated as targets. Later reporting based on Israeli sources revealed internal directives consistent with those claims. In every case, Palestinian testimony was available immediately. Recognition came only later. The release of the 1948 files comes in the aftermath of the October 7th attacks and the devastating war that followed. As the world searches for context, these documents highlight a continuity of practices that Palestinians have long described: expulsion, overwhelming force, and collective punishment. The implications are significant. They challenge narratives that frame the displacement of 1948 as accidental. They raise questions about how early state policies shaped later military doctrines, and they underscore the cost of decades of disregarded testimony. The story of 1948 has always been known to those who lived it. The newly uncovered files matter, not because they reveal the truth for the first time, but because they show how long that truth was ignored. The central question is no longer what happened. The question is why it took so long for the world to believe the people who experienced it.